Haere mai, Pisces. Welcome to your May 2015 Taroscope reading with me. Wherever you are around the world, I hope you've got a few minutes to sit back and listen and see what the cards might be imparting messages for you and how to work through May. Okay, 4 cards, and then we will use a couple of different decks at the end just to give some different vibrations. First card, 10 of Wands, the 5 of Swords, the 6 of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups. So we have a mix. You've got one of everything. Interesting. So you're spreading your energies around the different areas of your life. So let's start with the first week and the 10 of Wands. We see this guy here walking away in the background with all these wands which seem to be quite a heavy burden. The philosophy or the understanding of this energy is that you may be exactly feeling in that place right now at the beginning of May, as if you've had a lot on your mind, you've had a lot going on, there's a lot of people who have required your attention, and you've kind of gathered them all together and you've laboured along, taking it to some final point. But it feels as though it's a lot of weight on your shoulders. So there's a possibility that you need to slow down, give yourself some respite, take a break, and maybe think of yourself as well and not necessarily all these other people, because they all do require attention, but don't forget that you do as well, because you're also important and this is your life, and if you're not functioning properly or up to spec, then you can't really be of much help to others either. So it's also a card of balance. He is actually balancing these very, very well, and we know that when things are in balance, life does flow better. So there's a key message here about being in balance and making sure you maintain the balance, because that is when we can best be of use to ourselves and of others as well. Now, I think if we look at this from a health perspective, it would literally say to slow down, take a break, pace yourself, make sure that you aren't getting burnt out at all, that you are resting and taking some enjoyment, because I think this often means he's working so jolly hard, he's got no time for fun. Well, we all need to stop and have some enjoyment as well. Now the next card, the 5 of Swords. When we get the Swords cards come out, we know they generally mean a bit of argy-barginess, a bit of words that can be said that might not necessarily be meant, but they can be said in the heat of a moment and disappoint some people or upset some. This card shows us that there is a victor and that the others have moved away. So it can often indicate 3 people, so there could be 3 people in a circumstance or an argument, and you might actually be the victor and you might come out the champion on top. But sometimes you have to think, well, what did I actually lose at the same time? Did I lose friendships out of it? Or did I lose composure? Did I lose, or did I hurt the other people and feel regretful about that? So it's a card of saying, just be careful how you gain your wins in life. Try again, it's about balance. Think of others. When you have something, a disagreement or something that needs to be said, remember there are always 2 sides to the story, and we can say things in many ways, and there is often a much more pleasant way of saying something than just barging straight on in and getting the swords out and having a real good go at it. So I think it's a card of just saying, be careful, treat people with respect as well as yourself. You don't need to be the person who's being abused, but if you're standing up for yourself, do it with some dignity and respect as well at the same time, for yourself and the other people and the situation. Health-wise, it could indicate that I think it just rolls on a little bit from this one, the fact that if you've been feeling a bit tired and run down, it might have continued, you're still possibly a little bit tired, and you could get sort of sudden little things crop up that are annoying, whether or not they're headaches or back pains or little things like that that indicate sometimes stress and the slowing down and the balance of that. So then we come to this card here, the Six of Pentacles, and we see here again balance. So I think there's a lot in May about your reading that I feel you need some sort of balance, as if things have got out of balance a bit. And definitely the slowing down and the making sure that others are looking after you as well as you're looking after them. And that's what this card is. He's handing out gold coins to these people. Now, it could either be that you are in that situation and you are handing out and helping others, and they are very grateful for it. There's no doubt about that. So that's the gift of giving, which I think this is as well. And it is a wonderful gift, but we must balance it by also receiving. So sometimes this card can be about the need to receive from people who also love you and want to help you, and that they are around in May. So if you haven't been listening to their offers of help enough, it might be a time to stand back and go, actually, I do need some support. I do need a bit of help. And it could be financial, physical, emotional, anything. Financially wise, if we look at it, it says that you have got money around you. Again, balance it. Balance your payments, what you're choosing to invest in. You know, look carefully, work it all out, have it planned, have a strategy in place. We come to the last card, the Knight of Cups. He's lovely. He sits there with this beautiful golden cup. It's like an offering. It can be a peace offering. It can be a love offering. It can be new potential romance coming in towards the latter part of May. It can be attending, you know, nice, warm functions, or where you feel heart connection and just pleasantries, social niceness, enjoyment. It's a slightly lesser pace than these two over here, so I feel the end of May calms down a little bit for you, and you find a little bit of enjoyment and satisfaction. It's also potential new offerings of some sort, so someone in your life is handing you something, and it's generally considered thoughtful and pleasant and enjoyable, whether or not it's relationship related, which it can be, or social hospitality, those type of feelings. Health-wise, it also shows improvement and positivity, and he is definitely at the end of the reading and he's looking out into the future. So that's the kind of movement forward we get perhaps for the feeling of June. So with that, let's take a look at these cards. Tony Salarino, Angels, Gods and Goddesses, and they have a way of kind of getting to issues within us that we sometimes don't address, or that we just kind of put in the background and think, no, I'll get round to that someday, but not today. So let's see what pops up for you guys. The Goddess of Strength. Stand up for what you believe. You will gain respect by holding your ground. Okay, so that matches fairly well with that first card, the Ten of Wands, in which you have so much strength and you've been carrying all this extra help and support for everyone else, and sort of answering their call. You obviously have a wonderful capacity of strength that you can call on, and it even matches the second card about this feeling of maybe you wanting to get your opinion across and having others listen to you, or give you a chance to be heard. These guys here are saying to you in May that you have got that capacity, and that if now is a time that you want to speak, to get some resolve done, to get something to go your way, to get something achieved, you can do it with your inner strength, and also I think your physical strength as well. So there is a degree of standing your ground here, Pisces, and knowing that you're right. You know, you have the right to be positive about this and see whatever it is that's on your mind go in the right direction. So let's just see one more from this deck. Angel of New Life. Well, that's lovely too. An exciting new chapter in your life is about to unfold. And we see the moon on top of her head. And we've talked about before, we've had 2 strong eclipses just recently, and they fell in the categories of Pisces and Aries, and I think they will affect many of us at many levels. So some of you will literally be blooming and flourishing into a new phase of your life for whatever reason, you know, whether or not there's an older perspective of you or a cycle of your life that has come to an end and you are moving into this new chapter. But know that you have the strength to do it, and that you're not on your own, but new beginnings and new life. Oh my gosh, it's such an amazing, prosperous place to be. Sometimes it can be considered difficult because it's just new territory. But as long as we don't fear it and we embrace it and we go for it and we give it all our best, it's the nature of life. Because life is not static. We never stay the same. We're constantly changing. And if we don't adapt with that and grow with it, then we do stagnate. And then we have very little to look forward to and very little excitement in our lives and very little growth, which is all wrong. So there you are, Pisces. Those are really beautiful messages. Now, one last card from the Angels of Atlantis. Let's see. Where do I go? Left or right or middle? Left or right or middle? Middle, here. Miracles. Wow, isn't that beautiful? Metatron miracles. We see there a baby. So some of you may be in a fertile period, and some of you may be welcoming a new child into the family one way or another. That could be the beginning of your new phase. We saw that with this card about your new life coming. And I think miracles and babies are very much about new life. And we see this moon up here so much like this white light. So there's a huge connection somehow between all the 3 of the last cards that were drawn for you. I'm not sure how the miracles, I think it's quite intrinsically deep. They're not just the miracle of new life and new birth, but it's the miracle of your whole new life, this whole new essence. Some sort of quite big shift is coming your way, even though you didn't have any major arcana cards. It's really interesting. So there must be something in the month of May that the major arcana cards weren't going to even meet with their meanings. So quite a soulful journey. That I think you're on, Pisces. You, given that you're the last zodiac sign and you are already intensely old souls and spiritual beings, perhaps there's a whole part of that that's coming for you with this moon up here, you know, the eclipses we've just been through, this whole new life message that you're getting. There's something quite profound coming in May. Wow, I think it's fabulous. I think look out for it and embrace it when it comes. Very, very nice. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. I appreciate it, and I hope you've enjoyed the readings. I love that you sub, like, and leave comments. And I wish you all the very, very best for May. Kia kaha and much aroha.